Okay, then the last thing about our adrenal glands is, have you ever been in a car and you had to slam on brakes really super fast, right? That is your fight or flight response coming into action. It's almost like you just did it naturally because you knew it was going to save your life or whatever. Your fight or flight response, I'm sure many of you have kind of felt that in your body, where you're kind of just coming down off of this really crazy high feeling, where your body's just trying to regulate some of those thoughts when you're dealing with something that's a high stress situation. You have to have fight or flight response in many areas, and your adrenal gland actually helps you do that properly. When you start having adrenal gland dysfunctions, that's where you're going to start not seeing that come into play as quickly, and that can be a dangerous issue too. All right. Then the disorders that we need to know. Are y'all following me? Y'all okay? We have got Cushing's syndrome and Addison's disease. Okay, if y'all give me 10 more minutes, we'll be done. But Cushing's syndrome deals with many visual characteristics, such as abnormal obesity, but with thin arms and legs, reddish stretch marks, a round red face, weak muscles and bones, acne, and fragile skin that heals poorly. And please don't read all this and think, oh crap, I have one of these things. No, don't think that. Just read it and soak it in, because you might have someone that knows they have Cushing's syndrome, and you can kind of correlate what you've learned with what they've put on their intake form at the very least, right? But here's what it says in the blue, and this is the most important thing. It's caused by excessive cortisol-like medications. A lot of people are put on prednisone for different various reasons, right? It's a steroidal medication which directly affects your adrenal glands, because we have natural steroids in our adrenal glands. Okay, or a tumor that produces excessive cortisol by the adrenal gland. So long story short, Cushing's syndrome is the excessive amount of cortisol-like hormones, okay, in the adrenal glands. It's just excessive. So it can either be something that's genetic, or it can be something that's brought on by medication, right? Easy enough. And then this goes into a little bit more of the same thing. Darkening of the skin can be an aesthetics characteristic. So, of course, adrenal gland testing. Hello, if you have somebody with hormonal issues, it might not just be the MSH. What can it also be? It could also be something going on in your adrenal gland, which could be a Cushing syndrome sort of connection. So it's not always pituitary MSH, it could be adrenal gland Cushing syndrome. So think about the different areas that we've actually found sources for where hyperpigmentation comes from hormonally. Then it goes on to say muscle weakness, lightheadedness, sweating, changes in mood, and cravings for salt due to low sodium are other symptoms. So again, just good food for thought, good to recognize some of these things. And I think the biggest takeaway for aesthetics would be the hyperpigmentation. Okay, then I resonate with PCOS a good bit, because I've known many of my students to have this or be misdiagnosed with it. Be misdiagnosed with it a lot. For a physician to tell someone that they can never have children is a big thing to say to somebody, and I'm a little bit mama bear to all my students, and so I always tell them if they think they've been diagnosed with PCOS, I ask for them to go get a second opinion, because sometimes it can be the similar characteristics, but not necessarily PCOS, right? But if it is true PCOS, here's what it is. It's characterized by hirsutism, which is excessive body and facial hair from hormonal fluctuations. We've said that. Acne and hyperpigmentation. So all three of those male pattern characteristics kind of come about with PCOS sometimes. It's rooted in the non-secretion or unbalanced secretion of FSH and LH in that pituitary, like we just said. They have to secrete evenly. One of them is out of whack. Then it's crucial for the ovaries to properly function in females. Of course, we said that, the FSH and LH. Then it says when the ovaries are unable to ovulate properly, ovarian cysts can occur. Who in here has ever had an ovarian cyst and one that ruptured? And then you're like, okay, hello, this is not fun. Sometimes you have to have some laparoscopic drilling into the cyst. Isn't that fun, Thomas? Yeah. In order to release that. and then you won't have those issues anymore. So there's different things you can do, of course, to alleviate that pain. But the reason you're having the ovarian cyst is, remember, your FSH is what plants the seed, and then the LH releases it. But wait a minute, what if LH isn't there to release it? Sometimes those little pockets that form in your ovaries that are supposed to receive the egg never actually receive an egg, or maybe it stays there and never releases. So overall, that's where your cysts come from, is there's little air pockets, and eventually they'll rupture and cause a lot of pain. The worst thing I think women can do, unless it's a cancerous thing, in which case you have to do it, but the worst thing is to remove, do a partial or a full removal of your ovaries. You know, that's going to throw you into a lot of different hormonal issues. So unless it's an absolute have to, I would suggest getting a second opinion on that one also. Has anybody ever been recommended to have that done for ovarian cysts or any other reason? I hope not, because that's a big one, and that will affect a lot of things health-wise for many years. Okay, then it goes on to say, due to and in conjunction with cysts, an unnatural occurrence, here we go, of androgens appear in the ovaries. So due to and in conjunction with those cysts that form, because FSH and LH aren't fully going to where they need to go, the unnatural occurrence of testosterone is going to come into the picture in those ovaries, and that is a hard thing to get rid of, okay? All right, and that's what's going to cause some of those other characteristics that we already discussed. And we're going to wrap this up. Hormone replacement therapy is kind of that story that I just told you. You can go to the hormone specialist. They can recommend different things, whether it's internal, like a pill, a progesterone pill, if you will, or they can do topical items, topical progesterone or estrogen if you really needed that. Most people are not low in estrogen, that's for sure. Some people are. So HRT is the better thing to do, not necessarily allowing physicians to put you on a lot of steroidal medication or antidepressants or other things. Sometimes we need those other things too, but look at the root source of what's going on with mood, what's going on with the way your skin looks, what's going on with weight. And if you can just get those hormones in alignment, that is a more natural way to do it every day of the week. I always say you do not want to just push yourself to be on a ton of prescription medication every day unless you absolutely have to. If you're able to wean yourself off of the prescriptive items and try to get back to a normal way and kind of live on some supplements, the HRT, you're going to be living a longer, happier, healthy life. And that's all I have to say. If you look at the last couple of slides here, I'm going to wrap up with this. We're going to just do a quick review. Have y'all had fun listening to all my lecture stuff all morning? Okay. Are y'all excited about the hands-on? Are y'all excited about, anybody got the coffee yet? Did that ever come? Okay, good. All right. So again, we said the pituitary is where? In our head, and it secretes what? Trophic hormones that cause other glands to make hormones. Easy enough. The one that we didn't talk about yet is the pineal gland. Oop, let me move over to that slide. Thank you. The pineal gland is a small endocrine gland in the brain. Okay, so there's another one in there, the pineal gland. It produces melatonin. Anybody know what that is or use that for some reason? Helps you sleep. We naturally have this, but yet if our hormones are going crazy, it's not going to secrete enough melatonin, in which case we have to kind of take a supplement or something that increases melatonin to help us fall asleep easier. Ooh, I know a lot of women that have a lot of issues sleeping and stay up all night long, and that's not good for yourself either. Okay, so it's the shape and size of a pine cone, FYI, your pineal gland, it's in your brain. All right, then we said the thyroid gland helps to do what? Helps to regulate growth and helps with your metabolism. And I don't know about you, but I need my metabolism to be working at least halfway decent most of the time. Isn't that right? With the crazy busyness that we have all the time at work, huh? Then you've got your parathyroid gland, which is actually located almost behind the thyroid there. It's consisting of 4 tiny glands located in the neck that control the body's calcium levels. Thyroid is going to be more of your energy levels, metabolism. You need iodine to help it function properly. And then parathyroid is going to help you more with your calcium homeostasis, which helps you to use calcium properly, right? Then this one's really interesting to me, the thymus gland. It's in your chest and it grows and shrinks in later years. And it produces something called T cells, which help your body fight infection. Thank goodness for that, right? So if any of you have ever had a baby that you've taken to the daycare center and you're like, oh my God, why am I getting so many phone calls about ear infections for my child? It's because they have not developed all of their T cells yet. But I promise you they will, and before long you won't get those calls anymore, right? You need those T cells to function in order for you to actually be able to fight off infections. And that's a big one. If y'all remember Langerhans cells in the skin, that is your skin's immune cells, whereas T cells are more internal. Okay, so Langerhans cells are the immune cells for your skin. T cells are more internal for the rest of your body. Okay. Then we said the pancreas helps you do a lot of things. It helps to secrete digestive enzymes to break down your food was the biggest one. It regulates your insulin, right? All of that good stuff. You need that in life. And again, make sure your clients are taking digestive enzymes if they're having any issues processing food. And I'll tell you who is a good person to put people on, that sort of thing would be folks that have a lot of redness, broken capillaries, rosacea. A lot of those folks have a ton of internal inflammation that's kind of coming out in those blood vessels erupting, and digestive enzymes truly help to alleviate a lot of that for longer periods of time, paired with, of course, HRT, hormone replacement therapy, also paired with laser treatments that get rid of broken capillaries that are there. And then we want to make sure that we don't get any more, so that's why we want to look at the digestive enzymes. Okay. Then adrenal glands, we talked about this a decent amount. We say they look like little hats that sit on top of the kidneys. They produce our cortisol levels. They produce our natural androgens, unfortunately. I hate that we have that at all. And then they also produce mineralocorticoids and other steroid hormones that produce fight or flight responses in our body. There also is other things about the adrenal gland that we didn't talk about, such as the regulation of potassium and things of that nature. So your adrenal glands are very important, okay? And then the last one, we said the ovaries or the testes. We're all women, so we'll talk about the ovaries. We said you have got to have your estrogen and progesterone levels completely in alignment if you can help it. And if you are pushing 30 or over 30, you need to just go get hormone replacement, at least tested for those levels. That can really help you alleviate some issues. Breast cancer is so huge in women, okay? And it's a lot of times directly tied to how elevated your estrogen is compared to your progesterone. And of course, that can be mostly genetic, but why not try to look out for it on the forefront? So those are some good things to look at. 2. What did y'all learn today? Everything. Okay, good. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I am going to drink a sip of water, and I'm going to meet y'all back there. I need my students sitting along the wall. Can y'all find me someone that has the loudest phone and turn on some spa music for me, because I don't have my regular sound system at the school. And our model, if you'll come back there, I'm going to wear a face mask and gloves and all the things, okay? And then Megan, I'm going to just go ahead and say if you want to snag a couple of people that do want to start performing hands-on while I'm performing, that would be cool too. All right, I'm going to talk about chemical peels back there, but y'all can't ask me no questions about the brand, okay? We will talk about that later, but I've got a little bit of everything, and let's see. What are you wanting to treat today? Anything in particular? What's everything? I can't see you quite yet. I'm going to put this down. Fine lines and wrinkles. You have any hyperpigmentation? No. Would you be willing to get all frosted up and do a couple layers and some stuff? Awesome. Have you been using, any tretinoin in the past 7 to 14 days? Are you lying to me? You know you will bubble up like a volcano and everything will be terrible, so we don't want to do that. Okay, very good. I will meet y'all back there then, and let's do it. Yes. Lunch lady smocks, if you will. And Megan, the only thing I need is maybe a little trash can if we can find one. If not, we'll figure it out. And then a bottle of water from out there. So I'm doing everything state board style, which is all disposables. Are y'all using more disposables than ever before now? Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna undo this, hang tight. There we go. We use these in our advanced clinic a lot. If y'all ever been on that floor, we do lots of micropigmentation, we do lots of laser treatments, a lot of things where we're wearing scrubs, but then we put this on top. So these are great. I can tell you where to source them from after the class. And I'm gonna try to tie this back here, but you can just kind of rip it off, throw it in the trash can. Are y'all using your smocks? Make sure y'all are, because that is one of those OSHA regulations they just put out, is the suggestion to use disposable smocks, okay? All right, thank you. Yes, I'll tell you at the end. I'll tell you at the end. Okay. I've got some fan brushes here. Is it okay to use fan brushes for peels or gauze? Yes. A lot of people get very confused when I'm teaching that. They'll say, oh my gosh, am I supposed to use one or the other? It's okay to use one or the other. Which one is going to apply more of the product though? Your brush is going to apply more of the product. And we use a lot of these disposable masks, and I'll pull it up in just a minute when I get her on the table just so y'all can hear me. But I'm also going to say, you want to make sure you have disinfectant wipes and disinfectant spray. And I previously wiped these down, but of course you're going to come over here, and in between all of our clients today, we're going to wipe everything down. I also love a good dental bib, if you will. There might be a better term for it, but we use these for everything, to lay the client head on, to put back here on the table, all of that. We also have our non-woven gauze, which is a wonderful thing, and I'm just going to pull out what I need. And I would also suggest y'all have this in a lidded container, which I did not bring today, so we're going to go ahead and close that up. Also, Miss Terry, will you open this up for me? I'm going to use hand sanitizer at all times. We're going to state board it, right? Make sure we hand sanitize, glove up, hand sanitize again. Those are brand new bottles. You got it? And then I'm also going to use, for me, medium gloves. You need to use either vinyl or nitrile gloves, not latex gloves. Did you get it? Thank you. Perfect. So we're going to use some hand sanitizer, and you're going to hear me say this all the time. Hand sanitize, glove up, and hand sanitize again. Have y'all been using all the hand sanitizer that smells really special? Special is the word. Sometimes it can smell better than others. Okay. And then we're going to use a disposable cup for our water today. And for those that are students of mine, what kind of pressure do I use? Is it light or medium pressure? Usually medium pressure. So we're going to hand sanitize again. I've got a cup. I've got a little bit of water. This should remind you a little bit of state board, huh? We're going to pour a little bit in, just a little bit, okay? And let's go ahead and get our client on the table. Client, where are you at? Come along. You don't have to wear your mask because I'm going to wear mine. Perfect. Can you have one up here for me? All right. So anytime you touch your hair, and I should have had like a little something, anytime you touch your hair, it's considered to be infectious. So you always want to make sure that you hand sanitize. I additionally, Megan, if you could pull me out one of these little stretchy disposable headbands, that would be awesome. I did pull a sharps container, not because we're using sharps today, but because if any blood spill or anything, of course you can throw it in there. Or blood spill, what would you normally do? You would normally double bag it. So you could do that a couple of different ways. Would you like to put this little headband on? Sure. And normally I would have you changed into a little robe, but we don't have that, so it's okay. And if you'll lift your hair for me, I'm gonna scoot it to this. Oh, perfect. Scoot it there. You have gorgeous skin.
Thank you.
We're gonna hand sanitize again because we've touched her hair. And we're gonna do a little dental bib over you as though you were at the dentist, just to protect your pretty little top.
Thank you.
Now, normally I would do face, neck, and décolleté, right? That's very important. Don't think you ever would do just the face. So then the first thing I'm gonna do is pull a cleanser, a makeup remover, and I'll talk to you about ingredients specifically that are in that. We always want to do a relaxation technique, so normally I would take a hot towel maybe and kind of rotate the head to the right, to the left. All that good relaxation stuff, there we go. So I'm going to wipe her skin down just with a little bit of water first. And you have gorgeous skin.
Thank you.
You really do. We're going to do a little eye makeup remover and let it sit there. Perfect. What kind of trash cans do we normally need to have though? Lids. So foot pedal, right? Okay. Then I'm going to take a piece of gauze and I'm going to wet it on either side, and I'm going to end up butterflying it in just a moment. But I'm going to take a makeup remover that is oil-free, and we're going to butterfly it and let it sit. Okay, you doing okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So then we're going to use a facial brush to then apply a cleanser first. So I'm going to get a paper plate for today because we're doing all disposables. We're going to pump on a little AHA BHA cleanser. These are brand new, so let's see. Damar, you want to be my, oh, I think I got it. Oh, perfect. Thank you. So AHAs and BHAs, what are some examples of AHAs? We talked about a couple. Glycolic and lactic. So those are the two that are in here. I do see a little hormonal hyperpigmentation on your neck.
It might be self-tanner.
Or it might be self-tanner, never mind. Doing a good skin analysis is something that's really great too. We will talk about that a little bit later, but real quick, look at my movement with my fan brush. Do you see that I'm not picking up and not being choppy? We don't want that. All my students, y'all remember, you go across the face, you pull up to the bridge of the nose, go down and around, pull up over the bridge of the nose, down and around, and then your little circles or figure eights. You will feather off at the temple to grab more product, right? Or whatever it is you need. And everybody in the audience right now, if y'all pick up your index finger, push your eyebrow towards your nose. Do it right now. Do you like the way that feels? Push your eyebrow hair towards your nose. So do we want to take our fan brush and push their eyebrow hair towards their nose? So that's why, don't ever forget that. And I don't know, somebody must have done it to me a long time ago because I've always taught it that way. But go up the bridge of the nose, down and around, up the bridge of the nose, down and around. It is keeping in with that hair going into the right direction. Okay, so we're going to dip our finger in a little bit of water. Normally I would do a hot towel or steam. So we're going to massage this in with some medium pressure. What do we know about blood flow? Is that important to a facial? It is. So even just basic massage is always a nice thing to do. Always a nice thing to do. But her texture is awesome. This is kind of when I would, kind of feel around in her jawline and figure, does she have any cystic acne? Is there anything going on? Do I feel any whiskers down here? What do we need to do? So I always do that and use the massage piece to really think about how I'm going to do her little skin analysis. So now we're going to take some gauze and wipe her down. Who in here has never had a chemical peel? Deborah. Y'all. Who in here loves peels? Y'all know that's how we got to get down to that basal layer, right? So we're going to do that today. Now, do I do one cleanse or do I need to do 2 cleanses? Why? Why am I doing a double cleanse? Once to take off the makeup or dirt debris, and once to cleanse the skin. Perfect. I'm still going to leave that little eye protection there, kind of break up that makeup a little bit more. And we'll put this in the trash. We'll hand sanitize. Now we're going to go back into cleanse number 2. We said there's AHAs in there, then there's BHAs in that cleanser. What's the one BHA that we use? Little salicylic acid. So we said that glycolic does what? I'm going to turn this around so y'all can't see. Glycolic acid produces new cells. Everybody say produces new cells. Okay. Then salicylic does what? Eats away dirt and debris in the pore. Everybody say it. I like interactive classes. Sometimes when you repeat things, you remember. And then lactic acid, it's a 3-word definition. What do we say to that? Exfoliates yet hydrates. Very good. Now, Damara, will you bring that scrub over here? And if you'll just open it, I'm just going to grab a little bit with a clean gauze. Okay. Just a little bit. Well, that's probably way too much. But that'll work. That'll work. So who in here likes granular scrubs that really get all that stuff? I like to pair it with a cleanser so it's not too much on the client. But of course, if I had a hot towel, that would be a great way to remove this. This is going to help get off all those corneocytes so we can get that peel a little bit deeper down. A little bit deeper down. So we said lactic acid does what? Exfoliates yet hydrates. Very good, very good. Okay, so what chemical peel do y'all think we should do on her today? She said fine lines and aging and all that good stuff, so I'm definitely thinking more glycolic focused. But what helps to, and of course we have a neutralizer, but what helps to neutralize glycolics? What's in the Jesner that self-neutralizes? Salicylic, very good. Keep your eyes closed for me, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
We're going to do a little bit of makeup removal, a little more makeup removal than this in just a minute. I'm going to work on removing all of this. So salicylic acid, everybody. Salicylic acid helps to neutralize. So when you are layering chemical peels, what can you put on top of a glycolic to neutralize it? Salicylic, if you're wanting to layer and you have a use for the salicylic. So if somebody's got oily, acne-prone skin, or if they have deep, not deep, but large pores, who in here thinks they have large pores? Everybody thinks that, but everybody's usually wrong, but that's okay. If a client thinks they have large pores, salicylic is great for helping to clean that pore out and tighten it. So we're going to spend a little minute removing all of this. Don't y'all love removing scrub by hand? I know you do. But if you can, that's a very special talent, so you should just try it. Now, of course, I usually recommend having a hydraulic table, not wearing heels necessarily, all that good stuff. But we will do a nice arm and hand massage for her while her peel is sitting on and while her mask is sitting on. Okay, I'm gonna wipe you down one more time. Okay. So again, personal protective equipment. What are y'all doing around your spas right now with PPE stuff? Everybody have their disposable smocks or something that you can wash and then use again? We're of course using masks. Anybody else using anything different? Disposable sheets are fantastic. We have some of those in the wax room actually. Those are great. All those things. Okay, you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You're a little pink, is that normal? Yes. If she's purple, that is not normal. If she's red, that's okay, right? Okay, look up to the ceiling for me. Look up, up, up. Do y'all like leaving people with raccoon eyes? No, it's a simple thing. All you gotta do is say, hey, look up for a moment. Make sure you clean right up under there. If I ever go to a nice spa, and this place, by the way, has a very nice spa, close your eyes. I always wanna make sure If I get up and look in the mirror, there's nothing crazy going on. I can just go straight to the reception desk. I don't have to worry about having raccoon eyes. Okay, this is a good moment to change gloves, right? Now, normally I would have her in kind of a gown where I could do an awesome neck, chest, shoulder massage. Do y'all love that? I'm gonna do a really good arm and hand massage on you just to not take away from the experience, I promise you. So we're gonna put on another pair of medium gloves. Are these medium? Yes. Oh, perfect. So I brought plenty of gloves. Okay, so I'm gonna use another plastic cup. I would highly recommend a stainless steel bowl or something like that for your chemical peels, right? All right. So I need someone that's going to be my little fanning person. May I have someone that has a notebook handy? Thank you. Or a plate. A plate would be perfect. Hello there. Is this your friend?
Yes.
Oh, good. All right, so you feel nice and clean. That's important. I'm gonna put this back here. And I'm gonna get a new cup. And we're gonna place that here. Well, let me decide what I'm gonna do first. Let me decide what I'm gonna do to you. Are you gonna be okay? What's the strongest peel that you've had?
Can I say the name?
Go ahead.
PCA MD peel, I guess.
What was in it? Do you know? Gotcha. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. We're going to do a little kojic acid as a base at 7.5%. I'm going to do a glycolic 50 on top of that. And then I'm going to do a salicylic 30 on top of that. Okay? What does kojic acid do? Okay, this one's a little bit thicker, so I don't need to use a whole lot because my goal is really for you guys to see the crystallization with our salicylic. So this one's a little bit thicker. I don't need a whole lot. Okay, 7.5% kojic. You might feel a little tingle. You might not. That's not very much. The pH on this is probably a low 4, so nothing too crazy. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we feel tingle?
Maybe a 2.
Okay. Make sure to get right up under the lip, right above the lip. Nasolabial folds, of course, I would normally bring that down neck, chest, and shoulders. And listen, if you ever have extra chemical peel, bring it down on arms and hands. That's always a nice thing to do. So we're letting that sit for just a minute. If you'll fan her, please. I'm going to get another cup. Now, I need someone that has a watch. Anybody have a watch? Perfect. Come over here. You're going to time me for let's time it for 2 minutes, actually. So you'll start the timer when I start applying. So again, glycolic 50%. Does that give more long-term change if it's over 30%?
Yes.
So this is good. And this is a way to take the chemical peels that y'all have and just honestly create something new. Don't just do one layer of something and you're like, hey, I've done a chemical peel. Some people need customization. Okay? This is very watery. So what do we do with watery peels? We do the drip test. So make sure to kind of get off the excess on the side of your cup. Drip, drip, drip. And we're just going to almost pat this one on. This one's a lower pH in the very low 2 family. You okay? Mm-hmm. So this one's as low as it could go. Okay. How are we feeling?
Good.
Tingling?
4 to 5.
She's probably tough. And I would say most of y'all are probably really tough because y'all are estheticians or people in the beauty industry. Y'all know how to do all this. So I want to make sure to watch the eye area. If you really need the help, you can take petroleum jelly or something and kind of go around the nose, the eye area, and the lip. But when I'm doing lips, I want to get right up to that lip line. Mm-hmm. You can see she's turning a little bit redder, which means that this peel is pretty active. Okay, you got my time going? I'm going to keep going until you tell me to stop. There we go. Mm-hmm. Because I have some peel left over. I might just put some on your hands. Can't waste any peel. Put your hands just normally side by side. Do a little bit here. Here we go. and a little bit there. And I'm gonna use a different fan brush to do our salicylic. So we'll let this dry in a good bit first. Okay. So what did we say that salicylic does? Self-neutralizes. So let's see how dry we can get that so we can see the crystallization. Which peel crystallizes and which one frosts? Salicylic crystallizes. Jesner solutions, they frost. And here's the difference since we're waiting anyways. The Jesner Solutions Frost. It almost looks like a whitish grayish tint on the skin that can't be removed. You wipe it, and it's still kind of white in certain areas. And that's fine, it'll go away within 30 minutes, but then your crystallization from salicylic, you can wipe that off. So that would mean that is a good reason to remember why that should go. Thank you. Let's just do it. No, because it self-neutralizes, so we're good. I just want to see some of that liquid look a little bit more dry. I think she can handle it for another 30 seconds or so. But salicylic crystallizes and you can always feel the crystals, so nothing can really penetrate beyond that, which is why you would always want to do your salicylic last. Okay, salicylic is fun. I highly recommend all of y'all do a salicylic, if anything at all, because it's very top down, not too crazy. And if anything, you might get a little bit of dry skin, which is normal. We want mitosis to happen. And then also cleans out your pores and makes them real tight. So that's a really good thing. All right, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all see how it's already crystallized my cup? Y'all see that? Okay. So drip test, right? This is also a pretty low pH salicylic. And we'll see if this crystallizes it as it's applied. Usually crystallizes more once it's dried on. How is the tingle factor?
6 to 6.5.
So yes, with the layers comes a little bit more special feeling. I usually love those little fans that you can just fold out and let the client kind of control how much wind they're getting. Or of course, there are better made battery operated fans these days than there used to be.
How is it?
7.
We're very active, tingly, stingly. We're not burning, right?
No.
Do we see the crystallization? Crystallization is happening. I promise a very nice mask is coming your way. And here's what I want to show y'all today too. I want to show you that you can actually put a mask on top of a peel that self-neutralizes. And then we're going to do a nice arm and hand massage.
No, I'm just trying to hold.
You have some really good assistants helping to fan you.
How is it?
Hands okay?
Yes, my
1 to
hand's
10?
fine.
Your nails still look beautiful and up underneath your gloves.
Thank you now.
Yes.
Really? Ooh, you're getting one more.
Okay, so if y'all have never seen frosting, that is exactly what it looks like. All is normal, everything's okay. If we were to do neck and chest, I would say light application over the neck because that can get really itchy and people start scratching at it. But then a nice thick application on the chest. This is a good picture moment. And I'm just taking and kind of patting in what's left. And I'm not worried about this, right? Because it self-neutralizes. Nothing terrible is happening. She should feel that this is calming down
It is.
a significant amount. It's kind of like that rev up once it's applied, and then it's okay. So she'll feel nice and cleaned out. And then next week, she can get someone to give her a dermaplaning or a microdermabrasion. Are you going to be that person? Good. That's what friends are for. Okay, so these will be in my to be disinfected pile. I will throw these in the trash can. And of course, this will go in the trash can too. I'm going to use a new fan brush, and I'll just use a new plate for fun. And we'll do a nice hydrating mask on top, but I still want to hear the client. So you can totally put a mask on top of a peel if they're not going crazy. If they are still feeling very active, then we would want to remove it and neutralize it. So neutralizer solution is great. If you are out of neutralizer, make sure to have some baking soda as a backup, right? Kind of do half baking soda with a little bit of water. And that with some cold compresses really helps to calm the skin down too if you're in a pinch.
Going down.
How are we feeling?
It's starting to go down.
Perfect. Okay, so let's do a nice hydrating, thick hydrating mask. And we'll do a nice massage so that she doesn't kill me. Do a little bit of water on our brush. All right.
You want the silk fan?
No, I'm okay.
Are we good to do a mask? Are you
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
I'm good.
This might, for whatever reason, rev it up a little bit, but it might not. So let me know. So hopefully it smells okay.
It does smell very good.
We'll let this sit for a little bit. We'll do a nice arm and hand massage with a squalene hyaluronic acid solution. Now you might have noticed that I left that peel on her hands. The hand can definitely take, just like any other part of the body, it can take a lot more than the face can. If you put glycolic peel on the hands, on the arms, don't worry too much about needing to neutralize that off the bat. But I will wipe her down before we get into the arm and hand massage.
You're gonna need us more?
You okay?
I'm good.
You sure?
Are y'all inspired? Do y'all want to get all peeled up now? I hope the answer is yes. Okay, we'll let that sit. And I always say take an eye pillow or some gauze or something, because I don't know about you, but I don't like clients staring at me while I'm doing massage. But I don't care if you stare at me, you most certainly could. So we'll do another little butterfly. Apply here. And let me wipe you off there. And we'll get started with that. And I'm going to stay gloved for this. So it's very important that y'all have nice tight fitting gloves. And these probably aren't the most tight fitting right this minute. It's what I brought today. But that way you can really touch the client and not have that feeling of, oh my gosh, I've got gloved hands massaging my client. Okay. So we're going to hand sanitize. And I'm going to use some hyaluronic acid and squalene. Do you know what squalene is? It's not an oil, actually. I might have you hold this and actually dispense it into my hand without touching my hand when I need it. Is that okay? So squalene is important. It's got a very nice silky finish. So it's perfect as a massage medium or just for really good hydration. Am I freaking you out by stretching you out?
No.
Okay. I might actually move this out the way. Okay. Hand sanitize. I'll take a little bit more. So do y'all stretch your clients out? Try to not keep your client's arms so stationary on the table. Stretch them. It's okay unless they tell you that it's not okay. Make sure if they're holding their arm out straight like that, don't do that. Chop them down like a tree. Now, of course, if she had a nice, wrap on, I could get up under her scapula and do some pulling up there, all that good stuff. But we'll work with 3 parts. We'll do this upper arm real quick. Okay. We'll do the forearm. And then, if y'all have seen me do a facial before, y'all have seen this. What do I like to do to the hands, Melanie? How many steps?
3.
3. Okay, very good. Will you two actually demonstrate this on each other off to the side so they can see? And who's over here that I can borrow? And then you and her. Will you put on some gloves and demonstrate it on her on this side of the room? And y'all can just follow me. So we'll wait on them. I bet that feels very good.
Hand sanitizer is here as well.
Here we go. So hand massage. Who does a really awesome hand massage? Good. Well, thanks. But it's important because a lot of times, who in here is getting carpal tunnel, first of all, by typing on their computers all the time? My husband actually has to have surgery because his carpal tunnel is getting terrible. He's not even 40 years old yet, but that's okay. All right, y'all ready? Kind of, sort of? Okay. I'll let them get going in just a minute, but I'll go ahead and start. So we're going to do the easy one. We're going to rock her wrist, make sure she's mobile. We're going to take our thumbs. This is the easy one. And we're going to dig right into that palm. Y'all remember this? Dig right in there and stretch out those tendons. Stretch out that palm with some medium pressure. We're not doing any light stuff around here. And loosen up, girl, loosen up. So that's step one. Not that one yet, just the thumbs. We're doing that one in a minute.
Do you want some?
You want some stuff?
Squalene, since I can't say the brand.
No. Perfect.
You need more? Ooh.
There you go. Yep, no touching. All right, so step one, dig in those thumbs, right? Now step two, we're going to do what I call the peace sign massage. And I say that because my son loves it when I do this to him because he plays the video games all the time. So I call it the peace sign massage. We're going to take 2 fingers put here, 2 fingers put here, thumbs are free. So I'll show that again, 2 fingers here, 2 fingers here, thumbs are free. And then we're going to go horizontally, kind of in a friction pattern with our thumbs throughout the palm. And for people that work on the computers all the time and use their hands, how does this feel?
That feels awesome.
It's everything, and I wish someone would do this to me. Megan, hello. I'm going to be asking you to do my hand massage soon. Tomorrow, we'll do each other too. Okay, so we're going back and forth. Do this as long as your client will allow you. It feels great. You'll get nice tips for it, I promise. Okay? Then you'll shake them out. And then shake them out some more. Third step is we're going to do the fingers really, really well with some medium pressure, and then pick up and let go as we move down the hand. So we're going to massage all the way down, roll it around on the tip, grab, let go, massage all the way down with some pressure, roll it around, grab, let go, massage all the way down with some pressure, roll it around, grab, let go, massage all the way down with some pressure, roll it around, grab, let go, last finger, compressions on the hand, shake, 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 hot towel, move to the other side. So the reason I say that that's important, right, is because you don't want to just be like, meh. Like I've had so many massages where they just do that. I'm like, no, spend some time on the hands. We use our hands the most. Okay, so now we're going to switch. So now y'all can switch if you would like. And what's the first thing we're going to do? Are we going to stretch her out? Y'all going to promise me y'all going to do that? You got to grab the client, stretch her out a little bit. All right, we're going to do this top part of the arm. And after this, I'm going to get my beautiful students over there. Noelle, do you have a phone that can play some spa music in a couple minutes? That'd be awesome. Not right now, but when we get to all of our other hands on. Okay. Then we'll do forearm. Get that forearm in there. We're fixing to do hands, don't worry. But does that feel good?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to even her out.
Oh, good. There you go. That is kind of terrible just to do one and not the other, right? Okay, so now shake her out. What's the first step of hand? I'm okay right now. We're going to dig in with our fingers, right? Our thumbs. Dig in through the middle and out. Dig in through the middle and out. And unless they tell you that they have some issues in which you're inflicting pain upon them, medium pressure is always appreciated, I promise you. Okay, so deep pressure. All right, what's the next one, Natalia? What's the next one? Peace sign. Peace sign massage. 2 fingers here, 2 fingers here. Thumbs are free. So we're going to pull that palm out, crisscross horizontally, and almost dig your fingers in, like stop at the outer part of the hand, dig your finger into the thumb muscle. Oh, I wish someone would do that to me right now. So we're crisscrossing, kind of stop at those outer areas there and just kind of press down, and it just kind of releases some of that tight tension that we have. Okay. She might be asleep. She might have forgotten all about the pain I inflicted with that peel. Okay, now we're going to shake her out. Is this aggressive? Okay, now what? We're going to do the fingers. So massage all the way down with some pressure. Roll it around. Grab, let go. Massage all the way down with some pressure. Roll it around. Grab, let go. Massage all the way down with some pressure. Roll it around. Grab, let go. Massage all the way down with some pressure. Roll it around. Last finger. And we're good. Hot towel, and she's great. So now we're gonna, thank you very much for that. We're gonna wipe her off, and I'm actually gonna have that on her skin, so just keep holding on. How about that?
I'll keep it loose for you.
Thank you. So last two steps of a facial are what? Serum and sunscreen, right? What kind of sunscreen do we like as esthetician? Do we like chemical or physical blockers? Physical. What are our two physical ingredients that we love? Titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. What are the things we don't like? The O words. What are the O words? Octinoxate, octisalate, and oxybenzone. Those are all cancer-causing ingredients. We don't want that, right? Okay. So we're not only wiping off the mask, but the peel. You feeling okay? Mm-hmm. A good thing to do at this point would be truly a nice LED shield, some cold globes. Oh my God, that would be amazing. So we're going to pretend like we did all that, right? You feeling okay? All right, I'm going to grab a little bit of my hyaluronic acid squalene concoction. And we're going to apply it. We're going to let that dry in, and we're going to do a nice little tinted sunscreen. Do you mind making sure that one's open, Tamara, since you are my lovely assistant today? And Noelle, if you want to turn on some spa music for me. Pinch on the eyebrows a little bit. Massage on this cheekbone. Perfect. We got to have spa music, don't we? So what are we going to do when we get her off the table? We're going to clean this table very well. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's brand new. There we go.
Got enough? You want
A
some
little bit more. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Oh, that's probably too much. Oh well, my fault. So we're going to spread this out. It's a little titanium dioxide, zinc oxide with a little bit of a tint to it. It'll take me a minute to massage it in since I asked for too much, but you know what? That's okay. All right. What questions do y'all have?
What pills did you do on her again?
We did a kojic acid first layer, glycolic 50 the second layer, and a salicylic the third layer. So many of you that have peels, you probably have stuff like this. Y'all can totally customize, and that'll help treat a lot of that hormonal acne, hormonal hyperpigmentation. Just kind of switch it up a little bit. What's that? Oh, yeah. I would say so. I think due to these pH levels, she'll peel just fine visually. Okay, so what have y'all learned? PPE, disposables, sanitation, masks. Still, we can make the clients look good and feel good no matter what. All right? Noelle is working on the spa music.
Thank you.
You're good to go. You look like a gorgeous goddess. Yay. Awesome. Woohoo. All right. So if y'all want to pair up into groups, I'm going to let Miss Megan get y'all started on these tables while I clean this one. And I'm going to run to the restroom and come right back, okay?
You want to wash these?
Oh, sure. That would be amazing. Or you can have a student do it.